Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today my presentation deals about client and server communication. So here is my details. I am Taminul Islam. My ID is 18115111116. I'm a student of Department of CSE, Daffodil International University. This presentation is presented to Tahmina Sultana Priya, lecturer, Daffodil International University. So here's the agenda of today's my presentation. Firstly, introduction, where I will introduce with client and server. We will take knowledge about the working process of client-server communication. Then I will go for the description, where I will describe about the main elements of clients and server according to web. Briefly visualize how client and server make communication with each other. Then then I will go for the conclusion, where I will show a short tour of this presentation pointing out the reaching sector from this study. And last but not the least, the references. So here's the introduction. We know this, the web is a service that allows computer to share and exchange data. When we call data, it can be anything like images, videos, documents, anything. And the web is referred to as client-server communication because there are always computers that ask for data, which are called clients, and computer get messages from the server you are seeing in the picture. So let's be more specific. So what is client? We know a client can be a machine or a program. When you call a machine, it can be your laptop, it can be your desktop, your smartphone, or your tablet. Okay, so it's called actually client machine. So what is client program? A client program is a program that allows the user to make requests. We know the web browser is a client program. A user can make request for a web page through the web browser. And also web processors and photo editing softwares are also the client programs. We can say that a client, whether it's a machine or a program, is an appliance and a way to make requests through the web. So what is server? A server is a computer program, not a machine. It has to be more clear, okay? Because we see people are define server as a high performance computer. But high performance computer are called server because they run server program. Okay, so server provides functionality and serve other programs called clients. We know a single server can serve multiple clients at the same time. That's why we see the IP address of a server has to be fixed, and the client's IP address can be different IP address, right? So we can run multiple servers in a single machine that are called virtual servers. So there are many types of servers. So Apache is the example of web server, and MySQL is the example of database server. So let's assume an scenario when we are trying to communicate with unknown person to make a communication, then it cannot be done by your own always, right? So it has to be done by a third person. So we who can make your communication, who can build up your communication actually. So after building up the communication, you can talk with that unknown person, and you can send your request, you can send your application to him or her, and according to your request, he or she can respond on it, right? So this is the practical example of client server communication. So let's watch from an engineering view. So we already know what is the clients. Your clients can be your device, your laptop, your mobile, which actually can send data. So clients are always send request to fetch data through the web browser to the server, and server responses on it, and it sends the data to the clients through the web browser also. And this communication between client and server are made by transmission control protocol, which is abbreviated as TCP. So these are the main working process of client server communication. So here's the 4 steps working process. First of all, building up communication between client server by TCP, then clients requested to server, then server responses to clients, then close TCP connection. Right. So these are the 4 steps to make connection between clients and server. So you are seeing in the picture, too many clients can send a request at a time to a server. That's why server have fixed or permanent IP address, but client can have different number of IP addresses. So we know the 2 types of messages is for the client HTTP messages. Number one is HTTP request messages, and another one is HTTP response messages. So first of all, we will look for the HTTP request messages. So this is the request line, and we are seeing here in the header line, and finally the carriage return character. So let's watch the request line. So in the request line, you are seeing the get, which are actually methods. So can be many methods: get, post, head commands, anything you can write here, anything you can see here actually. Then you are seeing in the index.html, which is actually URL. Then you are seeing here in the HTTP version. In the header line, you are seeing the path of the host, then the name of the browser, and the accepted file format, then the accepted language, then accepted encoding and character set also, and the connection. Is this connection alive or not? Then in the third section, you are seeing the 2 character, which is called actually carriage return character. It shows that your message is ended here. So here's the HTTP response messages. In the first line, you are seeing the status line, where in the first portion you are seeing the HTTP version, then response code, then messages. Messages can be anything, like you are seeing here. Okay means your communication is completed successfully. Then it can be it can be partially completed. Okay, so in the header line, you are seeing the date, the path of the server, then last modified information, then the ETAG, accepted ranges, content length, and the connection type and connection. Is this connection alive or not? And in the third portion, you are seeing the carriage return character, which shows your messages ended here. And the final part is data requested HTML file, where you are seeing your data, what you are actually looking for. So here's the conclusion of this presentation. We know a conclusion is a heart of a presentation. So there's the conclusion line: client requested to the server, then server responses, and this connection was built up by TCP. And in this slide, I tried to summarize the whole presentation here, and pointing out the reaching sector from this study. From the study, we'll know how we can get data from the browser. When a user search anything in our browser, then it sends request to fetch the data to the server. After that, server responses by showing data what user was looking for, and this communication built up by TCP protocol. So that's all about today's my presentation, and here's the references, and the presentation is ended here. Thank you very much to everyone.